Well, good morning, everyone. It's we got 1 week in the books so far, so we're off to a roaring start. And I'll say that Senate Democrats are focused on affordability for Missourians, and with that, I'll take any questions.
There's a measure in the House that is related to juvenile courts, and it looks to expand fingerprinting for juveniles who are detained by police, and also involve the prosecutors and attorney general's office more in juvenile cases. Have you guys had a chance to take a look and have any comments?
So it's a bill in the House. I personally, you can ask my colleagues here, but I really don't want to. First off, these are bills that are just been filed. They're going to change drastically over time. So I don't want to comment. If one of my colleagues wants to, they can. But at this time, it's a House bill. Mm-hmm. I'm not really worried about House bills.
What are your expectations for Governor Kehoe's State of the State address, which is early this year?
Well, we're hoping there is no new taxes, and we're hoping he doesn't ask for a tax increase on the people of Missouri, because as you know, it's harder and harder for Missouri families to be able to afford living. They're struggling at the supermarket. They're struggling with their prescriptions. Healthcare costs are going up because of Republican decisions across this country and in the state. And we're hoping that he doesn't propose new taxes on things that we currently don't have taxes on, and raising taxes.
So would that be kind of like the transferring of a sales tax increase for potentially eliminate the income tax? I mean, that's...
No, what I'm saying is these would be new taxes. And we're hoping he does not propose new taxes on people, because this would be a tax plan and a tax increase on a whole section of people. People that currently don't pay income tax would be taxed on all these new things. Seniors that have worked their entire life and paid into the government in that, they would now have all these new taxes that they didn't have to pay before.
What can the General Assembly do this year to help Missourians with the rising cost of living?
There's some. Well, first off, we don't want to give them any more cost. So anything that would raise costs on Missourians, we would definitely have an uphill battle in the Senate.
But do you have any proposals that would help alleviate the costs?
We have child care proposals. We have proposals across the board that would help possibly alleviate some of these costs, but we don't want to transfer them or raise them or get new costs involved or hurt some of our businesses with new sales tax and service taxes and all these other things.
Speaking of child care centers have been experiencing funding delays due to changes at the federal level, and some are operating on very narrow margins. Do you think lawmakers are in a position to help with that?
Well, that is a federal. I would hope that DHSS and some folks are talking, and DESE is talking to the government about releasing some of those funds. I do understand that is a shame that is happening, because as we know, and the Chamber of Commerce will even tell you, one of the big drawbacks for folks getting back into the workforce and working is childcare is so expensive and unavailable. So and I don't know if you guys want to share on that at all.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
You made it through 2 days without starting a filibuster. Is there a red line that you've drawn saying, okay, if they do this, we're going to start standing up and making noise?
I don't really have red lines. I think that just causes wars and things to happen. What I will tell you is we're going to, we have priorities as affordability, lowering costs for Missourians, making sure nothing that raises costs for Missourians. That's what we're going to do. We also would like to see that the debate come back into the Senate. We would like to see that our voters, our constituents, if you look at all 10 Democrats, we represent 1,850,000 people roughly in this state, that they have their voices returned back to them and able to have on the floor of the Senate be able to speak and have a debate and come to a conclusion in the way things have worked in the past.
Senator, with the coming budget, there's likely to be asks for budget cuts. Mm-hmm. You've asked for no new taxes to pay for that, which sounds like you want things to stay the same. With the spending deficit that Auditor Fitzpatrick mentioned, does that mean that you will be supportive of spending cuts?
I am supportive of no new taxes and looking at how we go forward. As far as the budget and what the budget looks like, the governor hasn't proposed anything yet. We haven't seen it. Chances are he won't have it out before his State of the State, which is interesting. That's usually you have the budget, so you have something to look forward to, but that's not going to be out yet, so the State of the State's early. So we don't know what the budget looks like. We have heard rumors of cuts across the board. Yeah, that is harmful, I think, in many different ways. That we also still have $3.5 billion sitting on the bottom line too. So what all those things look like is may change as we go through session or as revenues change as we go forward. Anybody want to, you're in budget, you want to comment?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's a wait and see game.
Yeah.
I know that Senator Liptomeyer over there is hoping to cut property taxes this year. Is that something you're supportive of, and have you spoken with the other parties?
Again, haven't seen a plan. I haven't, I one thing I'll tell you about property taxes is people that live in districts and quite frankly, the people, and I'll just limit this to my district, we probably pay more in property taxes than quite a few other places in the state do. State does, right? We have a system where agricultural land's valued at 30%. And they don't pay near the amount of property taxes that people in my district pay. People go to the polls, they vote for tax increases on their property taxes to support their schools, their fire departments, and things of that nature. If you ask people, do they want an ambulance to come at their house in 7 minutes instead of 2 minutes? Those are all things you need to ask. Do we need to be making that decision here at the state level? I'm sure we're going to have that debate.
Senator, will you be seeking any increased oversight into estimates for costs for tax cuts that might potentially come, given the fact that one of the capital gains tax cut ended up costing significantly more than the research?
So there's two parts to that. So the capital gains, and we discussed that originally, I think it was supposed to be $111 million cost. We were saying at the time that it was going to be way more than that. We were thinking 650, somewhere in that range. I don't know if it's at 550 right now or what that number looks like, and I don't think it's finished. But part of that is because we did that, and I was involved in that process and those negotiations and all those things, and so I'm not going to shirk my responsibility there. But sometimes things go too fast. Maybe if we would have waited a little bit longer, maybe we could have actually get some really solid numbers that came back. But the numbers that we had were not right. And if you look at that as vetting the Senate, that is our responsibility to vet things in this body. The House just passes things, we vet them. I think that process needs to be looked at and maybe be a little bit more deliberate.
What do you make of Senator Shore's resolution to strip the Chiefs of the title of Missouri's football team?
I'm a Battlehawks fan, so I have tickets, so I go to the games. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's probably currently will be the only official football team in Missouri. So I'm solid. So on a bipartisan move, I'm solid Battlehawks. So that's good.
Yes.
All right, thank you.